All right, John. John, how are you, mate?
Good, thanks. Yeah, I just wanted to ask what you think of Chris Bishop's suggestion of doubling the size of Auckland.
But let's put it out there, Auckland could be twice the population. Aucklanders want the infrastructure of Melbourne, yet they're happy to be at, 25% of the population. Get real. Now, people will freak out that you're thinking about, growing the population that much. But if we actually had a debate and did kind of set a number, then we can start working towards it and the infrastructure for it. If I said to you, you're in business and I said, okay, in a year's time, I guarantee you another 1,000 customers, well, you're going to build the infrastructure getting ready for them. And that's what we could do if we knew a population number, if we were brave and if we were strong.
We also have Arthur Grimes, who is a senior fellow at Motu Research. Arthur here is an adjunct professor of economics at Victoria University. He is a board member of the Financial Markets Authority and chairs the Hugo Group. He was the Reserve Bank of New Zealand's chairman from 2003 to 2013. Prior to that, Arthur was the director of the Institute of Policy Studies at Victoria University, the chief executive of Southpac, and the chief economist at both the Reserve Bank of New Zealand and the National Bank of New Zealand. And Arthur's work in many areas of tax policy, land taxes, the metropolitan urban limit are really hugely important in shaping the debate that we're having right now. In fact, many of the things that we're seeing coming out from government and other places have come directly or indirectly from Arthur's work.
Okay, Auckland's increasing in population. Why is Auckland increasing in population? Well, everyone here knows that Auckland's a fantastic city, right? It's a great place to live. That's where we sort of started this whole conversation. The Auckland Conversations is about Auckland, what a great place to live. Well, there's more than 1.4 million people that want to live in Auckland. There's a whole lot more people, and I think that's fantastic. We've got this tiny little country of 4.5 million people with this one small city called Auckland and the rest are towns. I mean, Auckland is a small city, and it's really when you come back from overseas and you come back to this small city, and you think, God, it's small. It's and yet the sort of parochialism of this place is extraordinary. It's a sort of small town in mentality. We still think, Aucklanders still think of it that they'd like it to be a country village, but it's actually a small city. 1.4 million is a small city. People want to live here, and why not have a big city in New Zealand? Why not at least have one medium-sized city, sort of 2 to 4 million people? That's still just medium-sized. There's probably 100 cities in China bigger than that, it's sort of... So let's get round this problem of, if you want to live in a rural place, go and live in, sort of Rotorua or somewhere else, Gisborne.
So talk to me, mate. I mean, what made you start your own property business, really? 3 years ago?
Yeah, well, so Dad and I were having quite a funny discussion. This is probably 5 years ago. And we were like, what are the 3 kind of ways that you build massive wealth? Not just you have a good income and that kind of, how do you get super rich? And we kind of settled upon these 3 ideas. So idea 1 was that you had to have like a natural skill. So you're good at like basketball like LeBron, or you're a singer like Adele, or, and as you know, Dad and I can very much not sing. We are terrible.
No singing.
Yeah, no.
Or for him, dancing.
Dancing, exactly. Any of those things we kind of didn't tick. So kind of ruled that out. Then the next one was you have to start a business. Mm-hmm. So be like entrepreneurial, set up like a Facebook or clothing label, something like that. So again, we thought that's like a really cool idea, but didn't really have the kind of that $1 million idea at that point in time. So then the final way that we thought that you could, build that massive wealth is through property.
The Reserve Bank did raise immigration as an issue yesterday, and we all know how cautious they are. We are looking at a net gain of about 5,000 to 6,000 a month. Are you comfortable with all of this?
Well, firstly, if you look at the speech the Reserve Bank gave, it'd be easy to overstate that part of it. There's about 3 paragraphs in it, and they themselves say migration could have at the margins some small impact. So they're not exactly arguing that that would dramatically change. Let's go back to the point I made earlier. I mean, if you think through the logics of migration, okay, so let's all agree we're not going to stop a Kiwi. It's all about interest rates, and if you believe they're going to track up, they'll have some impact. Jobs, can people keep paying the mortgage? Migration is quite a big factor. So it has been, saying blindly obvious, going crazy. So just to give you an example, what we call system growth, how much do the banks lend in residential? On average, that's 15 billion a year. Just to give you an example, in the last 12 months, it's been 30 billion. So ANZ, we are 1 in 3 home loans. We're the biggest in the country. And just to give you an example, September, October, November, December, we just at ANZ, we lent $1 billion a month. Just ANZ.
Wow.
So we're lending 15 billion a year now. At the moment.
And that's to New Zealand or New Zealand and Australia?
No, just New Zealand. That's just New Zealand.
Well, it's going to double at some stage anyway, but that will occur naturally because of population growth. I think we're an incredibly sparsely populated country. I think there are better places to live than Auckland, to be honest. And I don't think that, I wouldn't worry, John, that Chris Bishop says we're going to double the size to Auckland and he's like Samantha from Bewitched and he wiggles his nose and it's done. Let's see how the country develops. And if it grows, however Auckland grows, let's make sure we build infrastructure that is commensurate with its population on things like water and roading, and we make, whatever size it is, we make it a good city.
Okay. The other thing is that he's taken over the Christchurch Council with regard to intensification.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know why the Christchurch Council just can't tell them to get lost.
Okay, neither do I.
Because, he's supposed to be governing for the people. He's not.
John, did you just ring up to have a crack at Chris Bishop?
Well, yes. Well,
Yeah,
the
you
issue,
did.
I wanted to raise the issue.
Yeah, well, I don't know that it's an issue.
Well,
that
there's
a hell of a
serious
lot of
issues,
people. Well, are they, John? Or is it just that you can have a crack at Chris Bishop?
I'm in one of those zones where I can just, they can build all around me and they can...
Yeah, have they?
Well, they will.
Will they?
Well, they can, so that's something to worry
so they
about.
will. Okay. Thanks, John.
Well, of course they will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye. Sean, I just checked my blood pressure after my call. Chris Bishop, okay. Sean, I don't care about Sonny Bill or Chris Bishop. Can I ring and have a crack at them, though? I want to argue something that has nothing to do with this morning's show. Don't send me a text asking permission to ring into the show. Just ring in and give it a crack. You'll know pretty soon whether or not I'm going to let you have a go. Come on. And I've noticed that you're anonymous, but give me a ring. Give it a crack. Sean, Sonny Bill can think and believe what he likes just because he thinks differently. Attack the idea, not the man, says Jim. Fair enough, Jim. Fair call. And that's what a lot of you have said.